I'm Luke McAvoy.
And I'm Tate Morris.
And you're listening to the Traffic Barrel Podcast.
I think you're wrong.
Oh, do you think that?
I think you're wrong.
Oh, do you think that?
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong.
Oh, do you think that? Oh, do you think that? I'm your host, Luke McAvoy.
And I'm Tate Morris.
Wow, we managed to do our intro without even practicing it first this time. Look at us go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Traffic Barrel Podcast. We are so excited to give you another episode today. We got some things to give it a little chit-chatty about. I'm going to do something I don't normally do, which is acknowledge this. This is a Panic Pete doll squishy thing. I don't know what you were supposed to call it.
Stress toy.
But it's that thing where like you squeeze it and all the eyes and ears and nose and everything just kind of pop out and it's funny. I think
It's
there was
different
one.
than Bug Out Bob.
I think there was one in Toy Story.
There might have been.
I'm gonna gain these up a little bit. Sorry if I just randomly got louder in the audio, but I needed to fix it. But yeah, so I'm squeezing this thing just because it's fun, but it just sits here on the focus right for the day. We have some things going on, things to chat it up about. I mean, it wouldn't be a podcast if we didn't, would it? Let's see, what do we jump in first? You know, the presidential debate was this week, first one.
Sure was. We watched it.
We watched it for the entertainment value because you can't take any of it seriously, unfortunately.
I took the moderator seriously.
The moderator you could take pretty seriously. He seemed reasonable.
He tried.
He at least attempted. Just curious, who do you think does play the better golf game?
Well, one of them can complete sentences without help.
That's true. That's true.
I'm willing to bet that he might do a little bit better in a game that does, in fact, use your brain.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You think he really has a 6 handicap? I don't even know what that means. I don't play
know what
golf.
that means either.
I just watched
We have
the
both
two options to lead
not
our
played
country.
golf.
I watched the two options for the fate of our country argue about who can play golf better.
Now, we golf?
We golf.
Biden might make it.
He might. You never know, you know? He I don't know how he would do in Wii Golf. We'll have to find out. Personally, I love Wii Golf. Wii Golf, I've played plenty of Wii Golf, even if I've never gone and played real golf. But it sure was something to take in.
Depending on how you see it, the closest I've gotten to real golf is either putt-putt golf or that one time I went to Top Golf with my coworkers and just tried to hit the ball out of the
net.
Out of the net, yeah.
I've never been to a Top Golf. I know a lot of people who like going there.
I don't understand.
I haven't fallen into the golf craze in the last, I don't know, I feel like it's gotten big in like 10, 15 years. It's never been my jam, especially like watching it. Why would you want to watch golf? Who's sitting there watching silence for hours as people hit a ball really far away to the point where you can't see it anymore? You're right. There's a
golf clap.
Yep, that's true. That's true. You can golf clap. It's just insanity to me. It's for rich people.
Sure is.
What a wild sport, golf. But, you know, golf, Wii Golf, the successor to Wii Golf, was in Switch Sports. Switch Sports has golf in there. Honestly, it's not really that different. It's pretty much the same game.
Yeah.
With Switch Sports in general, I mean, there's a different feel to it, and it's got some different options, but Switch Sports still has the golf game, which is a fun time. It's one we all like to play. And speaking of the Nintendo Switch, you'll notice there's one sitting right here. I know the segue I did. There's a Switch right here. There's a recent Nintendo Direct, probably the last one for this current generation of the Nintendo Switch. Now several games, a lot of games people are really excited for, more than anyone was really expecting to get because of how late in the Switch's life cycle we are. We're 7 years into it, and it's pretty well known. I mean, they've said they're announcing the next Switch by the end of this fiscal year, which means by March 2025 they'll have announced it. So by mid next year, we should have the next Switch. So no one was really expecting any games to really come out because normally by this point in the life cycle, they're pushing development teams to the next console. Some good games. We've got Mario and Luigi Brothership. That's in there. But the one we want to talk about a little bit today is being developed mostly by Sony, but it's coming out for PlayStation, PC, and Nintendo Switch because the Switch is kind of this outlier that the other companies are trying to get more stuff on, more games on. So a lot of Xbox exclusives come to it. They're trying to get some stuff with Sony now too. Realistically, all the platforms are trying to get their games on other people's consoles now because money reasons. Yeah, capitalism. It's great. This is one getting more games on more consoles. This is one case where capitalism is working for the consumer. Woo! But anyway, one game we want to talk a little bit about. We've been talking about this for several days now, and just decided it'd be entertaining to bring this to you, the listeners. And it is Lego Horizon Adventures, which is a Lego video game, as there are already many of. And it is set in the world of Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. You get to play as Aloy.
Game.
Great game, a great series, yeah.
Fantastic.
They're really fun, really well done. Graphics are great. Cool concepts too. And they are taking kind of that world and game and everything and making a Lego game of it because people love Lego games, and they can make more money if they make Lego games out of things people like. So we have Lego games coming in. However, Tate has a problem with that. And I'm going to need this stress toy because his problem's stupid.
Is it though?
Yes. Yes, it is.
This is my problem with it. You have a video game, wonderful video game, Horizon Zero Dawn, very engaging. It's very combat heavy, something which Lego games just really aren't. They might have some combat in there, but it's nowhere near, it's not even remotely as engaging as the likes of which Horizon Zero Dawn created. And now, you're going to take this very fascinating combat style, and you're going to turn to Lego bricks, and you're going to take the camera and put it a great distance away from you. You're going to take away your ability to engage with the environment in the same way that you would in the game. And you're going to make a game about the game. And I think that's just about one of the stupidest things that I've ever heard relating to a video game in my life.
And I think that that's a dumb point because it's not a Horizon game. It is a game in the Horizon world where you play as the Horizon characters, but it's not meant to be the exact same thing as a Horizon game. No Lego game is. Lego games are their own thing with their own style. You'll still be able to interact with the world, but it's Legos now because it's fun when it's Legos. You're still playing the characters that you've learned to love in those games, but they're Legos because it's fun and Legos are a good time. And realistically, it's every other Lego game that has ever existed. Well, there's a couple exceptions, like Lego Worlds and Lego Battles. But broadly, Lego games are based off of movies or series or something along those lines. You have like Lego Star Wars, it's based off the Star Wars movies. You have Lego Jurassic World, which is on the Jurassic World movies. Hey, what time is it?
It's podcast time.
It's podcast time. We started a couple minutes early today. But they're all based on content that already exists. They take a world that has already been they take a world that has already been built and characters that have already been established, and they pull from that and they make it into a Lego game, often following the same stories as the source material. The intention with Lego Horizon is they are taking a world that has already been established with characters that have already been established, and they're pulling those and they are putting those into a Lego game, which is the same thing that they do with the ones from movies. It's not different, because what a video game is, sure, they might have cool combat mechanics and things like that, but realistically, especially a game like Horizon, is just a slightly more interactive version of a visual story.
Is a slightly more interactive version? No.
You're right. I'll even tell you it's a very heavily interactive version of a visual story.
Yeah.
But the source material is still visual story material.
Where it's not really.
Oh, there's no story in that game?
There's story in the game, but it's an open world thing where what happens in the story changes depending upon how and what order you do things.
The main plot points don't. The game ends the same way.
The final battle will be the same way, but you won't have the same information. It changes the story. Like, it changes the way that your character interacts with the story.
But it still tells the same broad story.
Same broad story.
Yeah.
But the Lego game is not something new. It's basically they just reskinned and essentially dumbed down the complex game that the people that played the game all the way through love how complex it is and how beautiful it is. And you took that, and now it's Lego bricks. Now you cannot engage in the same way. And contrary to what you were saying, Mr. Lucas, there's an extreme difference between making a game based off of a movie where you can literally only just sit on the couch and do nothing about what's happening, and making a game based upon a game. Like, this is new. This hasn't been done before. They haven't made Lego Call of Duty, that because it would change it. It would be nobody would want to play that. It'd be a very different.
Did you say
game.
No one would want to play Lego Call of Duty?
Nobody that enjoys Call of Duty for the way that it is would want to.
You're right.
Have
you played BattleBit? It's Minecraft COD, and it was the #1 best game on Steam for a good long while.
How long?
Several months.
Because
that's what Matthew
I don't
was
know
in
if
his
you
room
know
playing
this or not,
forever.
but Call of Duty is still bigger than that.
But people still
because
loved,
people would rather.
People still loved BattleBit.
Maybe kids.
No, that argument doesn't make sense. Because COD's been around for a decade and a half at least.
Uh-huh.
BattleBit comes around, and it's COD, but Minecraft, and it was like 8 months ago that it came out, and immediately jumped to being the #1 game on Steam.
Yep, because it combined Minecraft, which I think is also extremely overrated, and then dumbed down Call of Duty. It took all the boring parts of...
No, it's not. It's not dumbed down. It's still an FPS. Everyone is just a block character. It's the same thing.
It's
a big
not
PvP.
the same thing.
Have you played it?
Have you?
Yes.
Have you played that and Call of Duty, then gone back and forth, and they feel the same?
They're both FPS games that are designed to be similar to each other.
Saying they're designed to be similar to each other.
It's probably more like Battlefield than COD, but...
Battlefield's a very different game than Call of Duty, though.
They're both FPSs. That makes them the same.
That's like saying Call of Duty is the same as Halo.
Functionally.
So this is a man that doesn't really play first-person shooters.
Play a lot of Halo.
When he does play them, he tries to play them wrong because he would rather play third-person. But anyway, that aside, because that's a different conversation. Now, the Horizon games are third-person.
Yeah.
However, they're an actually engaging third-person game because your character's not this tiny speck on the screen like they are in Lego games. And contrary to what has been claimed about the new Horizon Lego game, was it Lego Horizon Adventures?
Yeah.
I watched the videos for it.
Yeah.
It does just look like dumbed-down Horizon.
It probably is.
It has basically a two-dimensional strip that you can run along. Well, it's a three-dimensional strip, but you're confined within one small space as you essentially run along a track the way that pretty much all Lego games are. Now, when you're completing a predetermined story that has been told throughout a series of movies where you never had a choice of what to do, that's fine. It's perfectly engaging. But when you are taking something where you had far more ability to engage within the realm, and you are taking your ability to engage on that same level, I don't see the point. It's making it less of a fun game. Just because it changes the way that it looks doesn't make it more fun.
So here's the thing. Number one, you, and realistically, probably me, are not the audience that this game is being made for. Lego games are more geared towards middle schoolers, elementary schoolers. It's an accessible way to enjoy this game before they can go up and play the third-person one that's on PlayStation. Now, I'll love it, because I think Lego games are a blast, no matter what it is. I've always loved Lego games. It's the first games I played. And so I will always love Lego games that come out, unless they're bad, because some of them have been. But, like any Lego game that was released on the DS was just less good than any other version. I'm sorry. I played Lego Lord of the Rings on the Wii and the DS. Anyway, that's another story. This game is more geared towards children. It's not geared towards you who just wants to play FPSs most of the time, which is a fine thing to want to do.
It's not a no Horizon. I don't have a problem with it not being a first-person shooter. Horizon isn't
Horizon's
that.
not a first-person shooter, but you like the more mature style of game that Horizon is, and that's fine. You're the person they made Horizon for. You're not the audience for this Lego Horizon game. So I understand why you wouldn't like it. What I don't understand really is I still don't really get your reasoning for it, because I think the way I see most video games, I'm playing it to consume a story. And if that story was put in movie form, solid chance I just consume it that way. So if I'm playing a game that has a story, I'm playing it because I want to know what happens more than I want to play it as a game. So that's why we see it differently here, is that I don't really see a difference between basing it off of a movie story or basing it off of a book story or a video game story or whatever else. It's based off of another story that already exists.
I see a difference because you can actually engage in the video game, whereas you can't do that in the film. You can watch the film purely as a third-person observer. You can do literally nothing about anything that happens except for hitting pause and play. In a video game, you can determine the pace that is set. You determine what happens next to an extent, and you determine what direct actions the character takes. In the debate of whether it's different to consume the story via video game or via a movie. Well, if you've ever played a video game directly based off a movie, that's not like the Lego game, right? Let's say you go and you watch the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, or the first 3.
Yep.
And then you go and get the computer game, which my brothers and I used to have, that's based off of the movie. They're following along the same general story points, but they add new things in here and there so that you can engage in the story to a greater effect than you have before. What's happening now, the way I see it, is you can engage in this world less than you could before. The gameplay is less exciting because now you can't slide underneath the characters, attack them from below. You can't jump on them from above, and the camera's not going to follow you along because you're the only character that really matters realistically. Now you're going to be running around in hot dog costumes.
You're still going to be
with little Lego weapons, and your camera is set like 100 yards away from you up in the sky.
That's not how
and
it works anymore.
You can run along a track. I've seen the gameplay. This is exactly how it works. You run along on this track that clearly has these environments that are created to force you to go one direction, essentially. There might be some minuscule open world concepts, but it's not going to be anything like the world that was created in the first couple of games.
Because it doesn't need to be.
That's the thing. It is making a thing which is less than that was before. It's not adding something new. It's just detracting from it.
No, it's adding something new. Then the thing that it is new is that it is Lego.
That's not really new, though.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it's just a less compelling version of the same story.
No, it's more compelling because it's Legos.
How does that make
Or
it
at
more
least,
compelling?
Legos are fun.
Yeah, Legos are fun.
Yeah.
But how does that make the story
I played
more
Lego
compelling?
Star Wars before I ever watched the movies.
What?
You heard me. I played Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga in its entirety before I watched the movies.
This explains so much about the way that you are.
You say that anytime you disagree with me.
You played the video game before you watched the movies?
Yeah.
Why?
That's what I had access to first. I bought it with my birthday money when I was like 7. That's right. I was a big boy playing E10 plus games at age 7. But I was playing Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga before I ever watched any of the movies.
But they're just
What?
ruined the movies for me.
That didn't ruin the movies for me at all.
I mean, you already know everything that's going to happen in the movies to an extent. Like, everything important.
So
It's not going to be as silly.
it's different. The silliness is a lot of what people like about the Lego games.
Which I understand. I like playing the Lego games too.
Right.
But I like playing a game based off of a movie that I couldn't engage in the world in, but now in the game that I can. Because there's more engagement. But in this, there's less engagement. It's like if you took...
It's a different kind of engagement.
Like if you took... what's a similar game? Assassin's Creed. And you made that a Lego game. All of the things that people like about Assassin's Creed and the way that you can do parkour and everything would be detracted from.
I think you underestimate how well that game would sell.
I'm not saying it wouldn't sell well. I'm saying it is a worse version of that which already exists.
I don't think it's a worse version. I think it's a different version of it for a different group of people. Or the same group of people who just like different kinds of games. I think you won't like it as well, and that's fine that you don't like it as well.
Because it's the same story. It's not a new story.
I don't think it's supposed to be the same story, from what I understand.
It has characters in it that died in the first game, so it has to be at least before the first game's over. And the first game goes from the time that Aloy's a child till the time that, like, she figures out the world and the way it works and figures out what the more pressing matters are. She figures out that the world is bigger than her little village.
Let's see.
Are you reading the YouTube comments on the video?
No, I'm reading Reddit
Oh, okay.
about the same thing.
You're reading the Reddit on the YouTube comments?
No, I'm reading the Reddit about
that's something that would
the
exist.
game. It's in the r/Horizon thing. From what I understand, it's like meant to be loosely based on Horizon Zero Dawn on the first game. But yeah, let's see. People narrative is quote unquote inspired by Horizon Zero Dawn specifically.
So the first game.
Sure. But it's I don't know. I still just think it's a different way of engaging with the story.
It is a different way of engaging with the story. I'm not arguing that. I just think it's a lesser way of engaging with the story. If, like, Horizon Zero Dawn was an Amazon show first and I watched it and enjoyed it and then there was a Lego game, I'd be super excited.
See, and the problem is...
But I'm as excited for this as I would be if they came out with Lego Fortnite where you actually play... Like, do you remember when Lego Fortnite came out? Like, you weren't excited about that. You thought that was dumb.
No, I was really excited for Lego Fortnite when it was announced because I thought it was just going to be Battle Royale.
Yeah,
it was going to be Battle Royale, but
not.
it's Lego. Yeah, it's like a creative game, so I don't love it that much.
It's Minecraft, like, kind of.
Kind of. It's a crafting game, yeah. Yeah.
This has the same kind of feel for me.
It's completely different to me because this realistically, Lego Fortnite did add a new way to play the game. It added a completely new dimension to the game. And your argument is
it a way that you enjoy playing? Like, I've never seen you sit down and play the Lego game.
No, I don't. I don't enjoy the Lego Fortnite game. No, it's not my kind of game. But it's not based on anything.
Right. But it took aspects of Fortnite, which is a game that you very much enjoy.
Yeah.
And it is Lego Fortnite.
Right. Well, but Fortnite isn't a home to one type of game anymore.
But you don't enjoy playing the Lego version.
Because it's a different... It's not the same.
Because it's different. It's not the same.
Okay, but that Fortnite also has Guitar Hero in it. It's just as full of games that aren't Fortnite now.
Right, but you were at first excited because you're like, oh, it's going to be the exact same thing as playing Fortnite, but now you're Lego characters. And that's not what happened.
I don't see how this argument relates.
You don't see how this relates?
No, because it's completely different. This is just a game based on source material. Lego Fortnite is just
it's
new
not just
game mode.
Any source material, though.
This is just a new game mode.
A game based upon a game. Yeah, in that it is just a different game mode. But the whole point is that it detracts from what the game was that you enjoy. It took parts
No,
that
it's just a different game mode that I didn't enjoy as much.
right, you did
There's
not
tons
enjoy
of
it,
game modes.
but it is Fortnite.
Technically, but a lot of things are Fortnite at this point. I can make my own game and it would be Fortnite technically.
No?
Yes. That's what creative mode is for. That's what
And creative
all of
mode.
those gun
Okay,
games.
that's yeah.
All of those gun games that we play, those
but
are
they
all made
work
by
the
people.
same way that Fortnite works.
Right, but then there's like Guitar Hero, which is still Fortnite, but it's a completely different way to play
It's
the
not
game.
Fortnite though.
It
It
is
just like
Fortnite.
got the property to it.
No,
like
it's in Fortnite.
You're not playing Fortnite.
Yeah, you are.
You are using
No, you are
Fortnite as
still
a
playing
platform to play that game.
The game is still Fortnite. It's just Fortnite.
I know
Festival
that's what they
stage.
call it.
That's what it is. It's just a different game mode on the game,
It's Guitar Hero.
but it's Fortnite.
It's just Guitar Hero.
But it's Fortnite.
It's not new.
No, it's not.
They
new,
just
but it's Fortnite.
reskinned it.
It's still Fortnite. The argument that you are making does not make sense with the argument that this doesn't. It doesn't check out.
It does, because what it is,
No,
it's
it doesn't.
Fortnite that bought Guitar Hero, and now they just reskinned Guitar Hero.
Yes, and
It
put in
is
the game.
just Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
You can say
It's fun.
and Fortnite. You're not playing Fortnite.
You are playing
like-
Fortnite. You're just playing a different game mode in Fortnite.
Saying you're
Because
playing
Fortnite isn't
Fortnite
just
when-
one. It isn't just one thing anymore.
Is it a shooter in any capacity?
No.
No. Can you move at all in any capacity?
You can emote.
That's not the same. You can't go around. It's not like a sandbox type game. There's not like this
Right.
whole island where you can run around in, which is
Yep.
what Fortnite is. But then they have
not playing
control over other properties as well. Like now you can play the stupid car soccer game. What is it? Rocket League?
Yeah, because they own
Yeah.
Rocket League.
But it's Fortnite, except it's not. It is Fortnite with quotations.
But it is Fortnite because you're still playing it in the Fortnite game.
That's like saying if you went onto a
Anytime you say that's like saying, I
No, no,
assume
no.
it's immediately not like that.
you go on, you have a video game, right? It's open world, but then you go into this arcade in the game.
Yeah.
And you find Pac-Man, and you start playing Pac-Man in the game.
Yeah.
Are you playing Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Are you playing? Which game are you playing? Are you playing Pac-Man,
Playing both.
or are you playing? But here's the thing: it's still just Pac-Man.
But it's in the other
If
game.
you're playing it, if it's the same controls, if it's different controls, you're not playing the other game anymore.
Yeah, you are.
You have used that game to access another game.
You're still playing that game, though. You're still in that game.
Only on the thinnest strand of technicality.
You're still in the game. You wouldn't access that game that way without the game existing.
But you could. Like, you could still just go and play Guitar Hero. And it would be the same thing as what you're playing, but it wouldn't look like Fortnite. That's the thing.
Then
It's
it's not the same
Fortnite in name only.
But it's
And this is Horizon
still
Zero
primarily
Dawn.
accessible on Fortnite.
Essentially, in name only. It is
Name
just
and
derivative after
characters and
derivative after derivative.
It's name and characters and world and loose story and yeah, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, derivative.
Because there is a story, especially, it's not the same.
But it's the same story. Like, it's literally the same story. We just read this.
That it's inspired by it, but it's not directly following either of the games.
Yeah, it's not directly following because they're Lego and you can wear a hot dog costume.
Because that's what makes it fun. The fun of this game is that it is a Lego game.
But it's a Lego game based off of another game.
Which makes it a different, fun way to enjoy
It's as
this game that
stupid
exists.
as playing Lego Minecraft.
I would play... do you know how many people have skinned Minecraft to be Legos?
Oh, I know they have.
Because Lego Minecraft is awesome.
Except that if it was actually Lego Minecraft, it would play differently than just Minecraft made to look like Lego.
I'd still play it.
Yeah,
Hands
I'd probably play it because that would be a more fun thing than Minecraft. Because I don't think Minecraft is fun, like in any capacity. Like you've got sad little blocky characters that have
To build
no
such cool
ability
stuff.
to.
There
You
is
can
not
build
a game.
squares.
There is not a game that lets you be more creative than Minecraft. when it comes to just blank canvas, you can build whatever you want.
I mean, even Halo Reach has Forge mode where you can just build like insane, crazy things that aren't just blocks.
Yeah, with pre-existing elements.
What do you think a block is?
You know how many blocks are in that game?
Right, there's different colors.
Hundreds.
Hundreds of different colors.
It's not just colors. It's materials. It's different textures, different colors. Yeah, there are different colors, but there's also different textures, different materials. Like, they hold up differently to the way the game interacts.
Not really when you're building with it.
Yeah.
Like, if you build a castle in the sky out of dirt, not sand, but dirt, which can for some reason float in the air.
Yeah.
That castle is going to float whether it's made out of brick or wood or literally anything except for sand.
Yeah, but it's going to be vulnerable to different things or less things depending on what you build it out of.
But that's not different enough for me to actually make a difference in how entertaining the game is.
Well, the fun part of the game is building things.
But there are so many games in the world where you can build things that aren't just out of blocks. Like, I could do that with Duplo. And that's more entertaining because you can actually touch them.
That's not more entertaining to me. Or, the rest of the world, because you're pretty alone in this one.
I might be, but I'm willing to die on the hill that Minecraft is overrated.
It's not.
Like, for some reason, it was like the most popular game in the world.
Because it's just a blank canvas for creativity.
When you can move less and you're less mobile than...
Why do you need to be mobile?
Because that's the...
What is that? What is your obsession with mobility?
Because if I bought a video game and I found out when I opened up this video game that I couldn't move, I would take that video game back because that's stupid.
But you can move.
Yeah, you can move.
Yeah.
But you asked me why I cared about mobility.
But why excessive mobility? Why do you need
It's
to be
not
able to jump
excessive
and dive
mobility.
and everything? You can run
I need
around
to be able
and you
to
can build
move
stuff.
as I would be capable of moving in the real world. If the game cannot
Why?
if the game cannot
Why?
I'm trying to tell you, if the game can't do more than I can physically do, there's no point to playing the game.
That's not true.
If I can go outside and do the thing that's in the game, why would I not just go outside and do that rather than play it in the game?
Because it's different. It feels different and it's a different experience.
Yeah, but if it's not feeling good, if it's not
But it
like...
does.
In Minecraft, you can slowly walk around.
You can walk around pretty fast when you want to.
You can
But
change from standing to... I'm not quite standing anymore.
crouch, yeah.
And they call it crouching.
Yep.
Your
That's how you fit in the small
entire range of attacks spans from to
spaces. He's making a Minecraft sword motion. Yeah, and the problem with that is
that's boring.
why?
There's nothing fun about that.
I mean, that's boring to you. It's not boring
Right.
to the rest of the world.
But what we're talking about is what we both enjoy, what you enjoy versus what I enjoy.
Right.
And it's not just the rest of the world. Like, the whole world doesn't agree with you. Maybe most of the world that plays video games,
Yeah.
but also most of the world that plays video games are children.
That's not true. Not anymore.
Most of the world that plays video games who aren't children don't play only Minecraft. Like, they play more mature games. They play
They
games
also
where you
play
can
a
do
whole lot of
things.
Minecraft.
Yeah, some of them do. And you know what? That's just not fun.
I don't understand.
Like, if we get
fun
our
of
friends
that
together,
game
we
is
have
the
done this.
creativity
We
of
have
the
all
game.
gotten our friends together, and we played Minecraft.
Yeah.
And we don't have nearly as much fun playing Minecraft as we do playing, like, literally any
No,
other game.
you don't have nearly as much fun. We
no,
love
any of us.
grinding it out.
We all sit there, and you slowly go around, hacking away,
Yeah.
and then you slowly build a rectangular home.
That is a different kind of fun for us. Because we have goals that we set that we want to accomplish, and we're working towards those goals. It's a lot slower paced, but that is
It's a very slow
honestly
pace.
more fun for me than a lot of shooters are.
Which
I would
don't
rather go
understand.
achieve that goal than just run around shooting everything.
But see, for me, that's an easily achievable goal.
Finding diamonds, not an easily achievable
You
goal
don't
after the
need
Caves and
diamonds
Cliffs
to
update.
do anything except for break obsidian.
That's not true.
What do you need it for?
You need diamonds for, well, first of all, heavier armor. But second
Okay,
of
but
all,
you don't need
can't
that.
you can't build an
You can't
enchanting
survive
table.
without it.
You can't build an enchanting table without them.
But you don't need an enchanting table.
I mean,
If your goal is to just make a house.
your goal is not just making a house. I mean, if you're playing in survival mode, then yeah, you do need that. That's how you get through the game.
I mean, if you're just playing survival mode, you could just build a square with no windows. Literally just put a door. And you could go out and you could kill like a cow. And you could cook it. You could eat that beef. And then you could go and you could sleep in your bed and go back and do the same thing.
I mean, sure, if you want to never progress or do any of the boss battles.
But there's not really boss battles.
Yes, there are.
There are things that
There's the
exist
Wither.
in the game.
There's the Wither. There's the Ender Dragon. There's plenty of like just the regular monsters too. Like there are plenty of things that you actually have to fight in that game that
don't
will
have
kill
to
you
fight
if you don't
them,
get heavy. Yeah, you do. It's inevitable.
The Ender Dragon does not come for you.
All of the regular mobs do.
Not the bosses.
No, but the mobs do.
Okay, those are just like inconsequential things.
No, they're
if
not.
you're just not stupid.
Not always.
Like you could walk out and do exactly what I said earlier. Go out and get your food and then go back into your little hut. That's like, we'll say 3x1, and you have your bed in there, and you go to sleep after you get your food. Then you wake up the next day when it's daylight, and all of the creatures are on fire, and you walk out, and you kill a cow, and you make sure you eat, and then you go back.
But there's no reason to play the
You
game
sleep.
that way.
That's
you
what
can,
I'm
you
saying.
You can keep progressing the game.
The game is only difficult if you make it difficult. That's not entertaining for me.
I mean, just turn the difficulty up.
It's like
then it'll be a lot
like
harder.
if I this is also a thing between us. You've played video games more in your life than I have, but you enjoy playing a game on story mode.
For sure.
I can't stand it. That is so boring to me. If I'm just going to watch a story, I'm going to turn on the TV and pick a TV show. If I want to actually engage in it, I want it to be difficult. I want a challenge, a goal. For me, a goal in a game better be challenging. If it's not challenging, it's not worth pursuing it to any extent whatsoever. So when you take things like Horizon, which is a very challenging game if you're not just playing on story mode, and then you dumb that down to the ease of a Lego game.
I'd like to point out that I was playing Horizon on story mode.
Of course you were. That's such a waste of the game.
No, it's not. I'm still getting to watch the story.
But there's more to it than just the story. If they wanted to just do the story, they would have done a TV show or movie. This is a honking big piece of beef jerky.
Here, let's do some sharing. Wishbone. Oh, you got the bigger piece. Make
Sure
a wish.
I didn't even want one this big.
That's good jerky. Not terribly hard to rip either.
No. Now we're eating jerky.
What was I saying?
You got food and you forgot?
Oh. I remember, kind of. Yeah, I was playing Horizon on story mode because it's, like I said earlier, I'm mostly playing games to take in the story that is happening.
You play games wrong, man.
I ignore side quests so much. Open world games are not for me. Like, I'm trying to go back to Breath of the Wild right now because I want to have played Breath of the Wild. I know the story is beautiful, but I'm at a point in the campaign where I've had to go around the whole world, collect more hearts so that I can survive the boss battles and stuff. And because of that, I didn't play it for the last 2 years. I started playing Breath of the Wild in 2022 and have touched it twice between then and now.
And one of them was yesterday.
June of 2024. Because I don't want to do the side quests, I just want to know what happens next.
I mean,
And this is how I play
there's
every
websites
game.
for that, though.
But I don't want to have it ruined.
Part of the point of playing a game is to play the game, not just have the story unfold in front of you. If all you want is a story to unfold in front of you, you should read more, buddy. Because that's what a
boring.
book is.
Reading doesn't have visual aspects. It's all just words. You have to make it up in your mind, and I don't want to make it up in my mind.
Have I got news for you? There's these things called illustrated books. They've been around for centuries.
I love picture books. The Very Hungry Caterpillar, baby.
The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
Yeah. What about it, bro?
Nothing.
You play video games wrong.
You play video games wrong.
I played video games longer and first, which means that I've been doing it better than you. I got the Wii the year it came out, baby. What about it? New Super Mario Brothers Wii. Guitar Hero World Tour. Wii Sports. Wii Bowling for the win, baby.
See, all of those are some of the most boring games that I've ever played. I don't understand.
I love
now,
Mario
the
games.
The Wii Sports things, I did used to play it. Specifically, Wii Sports Resort.
Good game. Never had it, but I played it a lot.
Because some of those are really fun, but they're only fun if you play them with friends. Right?
Sure.
It's that kind of game.
It's that kind of game.
For me, a good game is a game that you can play by yourself and play with other people. Like, those are the best games. Now, Horizon, that's one thing that I will say is that the Lego game has over the Horizon games. Horizon games are single player. Now, the Lego game is going to be at least 2-player.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be cool.
Yeah.
However, it would be 2 people engaging to a much lesser degree. And for me, that's just not worth it. Like, just play a different game.
See,
there are so many other games that already exist. Why not make a new game? Or make Horizon 3 and make it 2-player instead of go back, do a vague retelling of the first Horizon game, and make it Lego.
Well, it's because they're trying to appeal to a different audience. That's kind of the point. But I see.
They don't need to appeal to a different audience with that game, though.
But they can. So why wouldn't they? Realistically, if you look at it for the reason that it actually is, it's literally they can make more money by using the Horizon IP to make a game for a different audience. And the people who do like Horizon, for the most part, will probably pick up the game and play it.
I think it's conspiracy theory time.
No, we're not getting there.
No.
It's
pertaining to this.
We're not. Nope.
No, it's directly pertaining to the Lego Horizon game.
I have something else to say first that's more relevant to what we're talking about right now. So you're gonna have to deal with it.
I'm not sure it is. Okay, go ahead.
We have very different definitions of or ways that we define what a good game is.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that a game has to be able to do the single player and the multiplayer thing. Excuse me.
No, I don't think it has to. I just think those are the best games, like the ones that I would enjoy playing the most.
And I don't necessarily think that. I think different games are equally good for completely different reasons. So, like,
well, yeah,
when we did the top 5 with Chandler of video games and stuff, like, some of my favorite games are like Spider-Man for PlayStation or Halo, which are like very single player. Well, Halo's not necessarily single player, but I mean the main campaign, it's like you're running straight through. It's very catered to single players, especially in like the Spider-Man game. I guess that's more closer to what I'm talking about. It's a single player game, very catered to that type of play. There's not really much multiplayer stuff you can do, and it's a great game because it gives you an awesome story experience and a good gameplay experience. But then you have things like there's Minecraft or Fortnite that are pretty much like equally fun whether you're playing it completely by yourself or with other people. Those are great.
So I've never had fun playing Fortnite by myself. I'd get bored.
I love it. I love it so much. Maybe it's because you suck at it. I
think it's because it's third-person shooter. Those are the
worst
worst kinds of games for me.
The best shooters. But then you have like
first person.
But then for like games, there are games that are like equally as good for me that are things like Mario Kart or Smash Bros, like things that you're only going to really play with other people. And so I think those games are all equally as good. They just have completely different ways to play and different reasons that they're good. I don't think the best game has an equal balance of like multiplayer and the solo experience. Like I think, I don't know, it's a completely different category for me. I don't think it needs both of those to be like the best game. Because the number one game on my list is like Mario Odyssey, which is very much a single player game. I mean, you can technically have one person play as the Hat, but then like I think number 2 was like Fortnite, which I play both ways. But anyway, yeah, it's different classification for me, I guess. The best game looks like a lot of different things to me.
Well, if the best game looks like a lot of different things, that's kind of like just saying that none of them are the best game.
Okay.
Okay. Now it's conspiracy theory time.
Oh boy.
I think the reason that the Lego Horizon game exists is because Lego came out with a couple Horizon Zero Dawn sets, like a couple years ago,
Mhm.
right? Came out with like
They've
2,
got a
maybe
tall neck.
3. Yeah.
I don't even think there's more than the tall neck, as far as I know.
I think they had at least one more.
Maybe
But they
did.
didn't
I don't know.
sell well. Like,
Okay.
so
They're
this
still
is
making
my
them
thought.
right now.
Yeah. Have you ever seen them anywhere besides the Lego store? Like,
Walmart.
I haven't seen it at Walmart. Like, they just don't really
I think I
stock
have either
it.
Walmart or Meijer. I've seen it somewhere.
Like, they have Lego Star Wars stocked constantly, Harry Potter, Lego Minecraft. All these things are, like, constantly stocked.
Well, they keep the more niche stuff at the Lego store and online usually.
But then these, they have the rights to make them,
Right.
but they're not bought very much. You don't really hear about them, and they've only made at least the one set. I think they've made like 2 or more, or they've just they're
Right.
planning on it and then didn't.
And they're making pretty pricey sets out of it.
Yeah,
So that's part of the reason it
So-
wouldn't sell as much.
they're creating this game to try to drum up more business for the Lego sets that they've already sold. And we know that they're making more money off of the Lego sets because, for whatever reason, a 400-piece Lego set costs $80 these days. So this is actually just a way to get people to go, no. I play the Lego games, so now I got to be able to reenact my favorite parts of the Lego game based upon this other game, and that's how they're going to sell more Horizon Zero Dawn Lego sets. I think that's what's actually happening here.
I don't think that's it at all. I think what's happening
I
is
think
that
that's what's happening.
realistically, Lego has almost nothing to do with the games that they have. Their brand is on it, and their art style is used, but the games, by and large, are made by WB, or at the very least TT
Warner
Games.
Brothers?
Yeah, Warner Brothers Games has made almost every Lego game that has existed. I haven't looked at the most recent ones, but even like the ones that they don't own the IPs for, they're the ones who have made the games. Like Lego Marvel Superheroes is made by Warner Brothers. Realistically, what's happening is Sony wants games on more consoles, and they want more money from the games that they make, so they're using their IP and being like, hey, Lego, want a cut of this? We can appeal to a younger audience, and you can have money too, and we can get it on the Switch. And they're like, great.
Sell more Lego sets.
I don't think it's sell more Lego sets, because I don't think they make enough price-accessible Lego sets for Horizon for that to be the case.
Right.
What?
Right.
What do you mean?
That's the point. Get people more interested in it so they're more willing to spend more excessive amounts of money on these ridiculous sets.
I don't think that's the case, because I think they're making the things like the tall neck set are made for a very small group of people, and they're not really trying
children.
to. No,
Just kidding.
because I think the people who are buying the tall
Midgets.
neck set are. I'm pretty sure the only one they made is the tall neck. Like, I don't think they made any more than that. And it's, if I remember, like a $250 set. So the only people who are buying that are adult gamers who have played Horizon and have money, which is not a large group of people, realistically. He's just chewing his beef jerky over here.
I grabbed a bigger piece than I meant to. There's actually still this much left.
I said what I said.
I haven't fully swallowed it yet either.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
We've just been eating this jerky during the record because
How much time we have left?
About 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Chatting it up. I thought of something else to mention earlier, but
Yeah.
for some reason I don't remember what it was now. Maybe it was
Oh,
the
did
fact
you?
that third-person games are infinitely better than first-person games because you can actually see the work that you've put in for a character creation, or you can see what the character looks like.
See,
which
character
is-
creation is like one of the things that matters the least to me in a video game. Like, you will spend all this time designing a character, sure. But at the end of the day, I don't care what it looks like. I just want to play the game.
I do, because the customization is one of the most fun parts of video games to me. I want to be able to...
Which I don't get. Like, I could just draw. I should.
But
swallow my
it
food
makes
first.
it makes it feel like you are it puts you in the mindset of being the character more. Like, especially
Not
in an
for me.
RPG, like you look at something like Starfield, where the character that you're playing is meant to be you. Like, you put your own name in there and the robots use it. It is. I've played the game.
Well, I've played the game too, but like
the character that you're playing
you
is
don't
you.
play it the way that you would interact like in real life, though.
Right, but it's meant to be a game. Like, you are the main character of the game. You're not playing like in Horizon, you would play Aloy. In this, you're playing literally the person you create, who has the name that you give it, so that like you are more engrossed in the story because it's meant to be like you, not some predetermined character. Which is why a lot of people like the customization.
Yeah, but for me, that doesn't change the gameplay at all. Realistically, that doesn't change the gameplay at all.
But now
Like,
it's
to any extent.
I mean, it kind of does.
And the gameplay is why I would play a game.
Now it's not like
It's in the words.
because if I'm creating the character, then it's not like I am playing a role-playing game where I am playing as Aloy. It is I am this character is like me. That's what it's supposed to be. It's like I am not Aloy. It's like I am an astronaut.
Mm-hmm.
It is me, but as this, not this character that I am controlling.
Right.
It feels different to me.
But I mean, like, you're not going to play the game differently, though. Because you're not playing the game making the decisions that you would make in real life if you were actually in those
I mean, you
situations.
are. Especially in, like,
No.
Starfield, you have different options in everything that you do.
If you were shot someone in Starfield,
Yeah,
you wouldn't do that in real life, buddy.
you're right. But
Yeah,
you have the option.
So you're not playing it the way that you would actually interact in that scenario in real life.
Right.
So to me, if you're not going to do that, if it's not going to be 100%, then I don't care. Be like, you could be a game where you upload your picture. Be like, it looks exactly like you. And I would probably still be like, I'm going to autosave, see if this person can die or not. I wouldn't do that in real life.
Right.
But I'm not going to play the game exactly how I would interact in real life, because if I was going to do that, I would go do something in real life. For me, the point of a video game is to do things that you cannot do in real life. If you're just using a video game to do things that you can already actually do, you're wasting your time.
I don't think there's any such thing as a waste of time, actually.
You don't think there's any such thing as a waste of time?
No, I really don't. That's not even a joke. Like, I think there's no such thing as waste of time, because no matter what you're doing, you're either enjoying it or you're learning from it.
I mean, have you ever seen somebody try to direct Joe Biden where the right direction to go? Because that man's wasting his time.
You're either enjoying it or you're learning from it.
I don't think he was enjoying it.
Then he's learning from it.
I don't think that's happening either. I don't think the only thing to learn from that is man needs help.
Well, I think you just got to live life. And the concept of wasted time is dumb. Do what you want to do.
I don't understand.
I don't know. This is a mindset I picked up from James.
That's a dangerous thing to do.
No, it's not like I picked it up from Matthew. That's a dangerous thing to do.
True, but James just like would be like, I don't need to be there early. I don't.
Yeah.
It's rude to be there early. James.
Don't worry about it. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
But no, I like the custom. But even beyond customization stuff, like third person, you also get to see like the effort that the designers of the game put into the character. Like, it's a whole different piece of the art of the game that you get to see when you play a third person game.
That's what cutscenes are for.
Cutscenes are the worst part of any video game.
How? Okay, hold on. Because here's the thing. I also think cutscenes are the worst part of the video game. But for you,
Yeah.
the reason that you like video games is, like you say all the time, it's the visual aspect of it. It's the storytelling aspect of it. That is all that a cutscene is. It is visual storytelling. That's it.
Yeah.
That is its sole purpose, is the thing that you say you want in a video game.
Yeah, but
but
I'd
then
rather
that's
do
your
it.
least favorite part?
Yeah, I'd rather have
Not
my
the loading
I'd rather be
screens?
doing it.
What do you mean doing it?
I'd rather be doing what's in the cutscene. Let me clarify. I don't think cutscenes are the least are like the worst part of a game. I think cutscenes are over relied on sometimes. Like, there are things that happen in cutscenes that I'm just like, you could have just had the character do that in gameplay. But cutscenes are good because they do expand on the story that's happening. But I think that's also able to be done through like dialogue and stuff a lot through the games.
Yeah, but dialogue usually happens like in cutscenes.
Kind of. I've seen plenty of dialogue be used outside of cutscenes. They just have it happen while you're doing other things.
Yeah, sometimes, but it's not usually like important dialogue. Like it's usually throwaway lines. It's things that you can completely ignore.
I mean, sometimes. I don't know. I like third person better. I think the aim mechanics are easier too.
See, I don't. I like in third person if you have to like aim with something.
Yeah.
For me, it's much easier to like you see down the end of the weapon, and that just makes more sense. That's intuitive to me.
See, I just
Be
want
like
my reticle.
you're just looking down the weapon. Whereas in third person, I can see the weapon, which in my brain is like that's where I need to be, is down there, off to the right or the left, depending upon the game. But the gun's over there, and then the reticle's there in the middle, and I'm like, why not just do the thing that makes sense? For me, there is no reason. If you have like a gun or something in a game,
Yeah.
make the character look down the gun. If you're not going to do that, give them a different weapon.
But you have a target reticle, which I like better for aiming than looking down the gun.
I just don't get it.
I would much rather just
It,
have
like,
a
it-
dot on the screen that confirms where I am shooting.
See, I just feel more removed from the actual game when that's the case. I was like, Fortnite drives me crazy when we all sit down and play it. Because I'm like, why? There is no reason to not have it just be in first person. That would be so much more useful.
Oh, there's plenty
to
of
me.
reasons for that game specifically to be in third person. But
Not a good reason. Not for
Skins.
me. Because I think the
Skins
whole...
and
all
customization, but
Fortnite's a different thing. I
But also
hate
building,
the way
like
that Fortnite
the build
exists.
mechanics just wouldn't work well in first person.
I don't think that's true.
I think they would have to be done very, very differently for them to work functionally in first person.
I think there's a lot of things in that game that should be done very, very differently in order for it to be done functionally.
But it's very functional the way that it is. Also, if you play Fortnite in zero build mode, you're not you should stop playing Fortnite. Zero build mode is not an acceptable way to play that game. The game is designed to be built, to have builds, and they only put zero builds on because people are like, "Oh, I'm a whiny baby and I won't play Fortnite because of the builds." Learn to play the game the way it's supposed to be played. Grow up.
I don't even know if you, like, you almost never build in that game. What are you talking
I
about?
build very functionally and in very, oh crap, I'm going to die. But no, I'm not like a big tower builder, but I refuse out of a matter of principle. I refuse completely based off of principle to play no builds unless it is really, really what everyone else in my party wants to do. Then I'll be like, fine. But it removes a core aspect of the game, which I do use in every game at least a little bit, because it's there. And then when it's not there, I'm like, gosh dang it, I just need to build a ramp right now. Because I use it very functionally, but I'm not doing friggin' build battles. I'm using an SMG and tearing down everyone else's builds, which I think is a fun part of the game. So if you're playing zero builds, you're dumb. Grow up, play the game the way it's supposed to be done. I'm passionate about this.
You are. I can see that. I've always said that about you. He's passionate about Fortnite no building
I
modes.
am. He's said that. That's a thing a lot of people have said.
Say it all the time.
Yeah, I say it all the time.
I said it last night.
Yep, he said
That's
it
how I
just
say
yesterday.
goodnight
I didn't
to
even
my
play Fortnite
roommates.
yesterday, so
I say goodnight, Matthew, and I say this man is passionate about no build Fortnite and how it's awful.
if you want to play a no
Every
build battle royale, play anything else. There's Warzone. Realistically, PUBG still technically exists, even if no one plays it. You've got Apex, you've got Valorant, you've got Overwatch. You can play any other.
You can also just play a
PvP.
better game, like play Call of Duty.
But why would you want to
Or
play COD?
play
'Cause
Halo?
COD's kind of just worse than most other games. I have no shame in saying that.
Now,
COD's
you just
significantly
don't know how to
overrated.
play first-person shooters.
I mean, I know how to. I just don't enjoy them as much as other games.
It's the same thing.
No,
It is, I decided.
no, it's not.
I've decided it's the same thing.
Because Halo's
I've
like
decided that you don't get an opinion
Halo is
on
like my
this.
favorite game series that has existed. And
Yeah,
it's a
but your
first-person-
favorite
and
one
it's
is
first
like
person.
one of the worst ones.
Halo 3?
I don't get it.
Halo 3 is the best one, the best main story one.
No.
Only combated by
Reach.
maybe Reach.
Reach is the best
But the
one.
best Master Chief game is Halo 3.
It's called Halo Combat Evolved.
Combat Evolved is not the best one.
I mean...
Half the levels are just repeats of levels that already happened earlier in the game because they only had so much space
It's
on the
only
Xbox
exactly
disc.
half. And they're not repeats. They're reversed.
Yes, that makes it better.
It does.
No, Halo 3 is so much fun.
It
You had
does,
the dual,
because
you had the
half
dual wield
of-
mechanics. You had all of the interesting storylines with Arbiter, and then you had the
See, I
Flood.
didn't like the dual wield in Halo 3. I liked them better in Halo 2.
Oh, I loved the dual wield. It's so much fun. And then you had so much interaction with the Flood, which are so much more of an interesting enemy than the Covenant.
I like a
Ugh.
mix of both.
The mix of both is fine.
Because I get
But-
tired of just doing one or the other.
I mean, that's fine. You're dumb, but that's
But
fine.
like in Halo 3, Halo 1 and 3, both the enemies all have very predictable reactions to like everything. So if you've played it for like any small amount of time, you can coax pretty much any enemy into doing anything that you want them to do. And so having like the mix of Covenant and the Flood kinda
Right.
keeps you on your toes.
Well, luckily you
because
did
you-
in that game. The first half of the game, you're fighting
Yeah.
the Covenant.
Yeah, because well, first half of the game you're fighting for like 3 or 4 levels maybe.
Yeah.
You fight just the Covenant, Flood lands, game gets much better, but then you have to deal with just Cortana whining, complaining for like 4 levels, which is the worst part of the game.
I think that's what makes the story interesting.
Well, like, because it slows down everything. Like, you're trying to continue down this corridor, and then she literally just shows up halfway phasing, like, through the screen.
Yeah.
And you are forced to move slower.
Yeah.
Combat doesn't stop, though, if she does start to.
Right.
You're forced to move slower, but the enemies aren't.
Yeah, because
So
you're like,
that's
what the heck
annoying.
is happening?
Which you wouldn't do.
Really?
You just keep going. Like, if your life depended on it, be like, oh, no, there's something wrong with my visor. Anyway.
I don't think that's the case
Like,
at all.
no. If you're walking and you're expecting like a visor that can do that, where you can see like your AI,
But your AI is not
and
there.
your life depends on you being in the moment, and then all of a sudden your AI kind of starts showing through your visor a little bit because it doesn't block your entire view.
But your AI is not there. Your AI is not supposed to be in your suit at all.
Right, but if she does start to show up, and enemies are also there, you're gonna focus on the enemies. The game, you can't do that. You're not
I
gonna
mean,
go,
maybe you are,
oh, Cortana.
But especially because Master Chief and Cortana's relationship is like, they're actually like good friends. So it's more than that. It's like, what's going on? Like that's how that's supposed to be. Which is why they do it. Why are you still doing this?
Because that's how long it goes on. Like
doesn't
every
go on
single
for that
freaking time, it goes on for about 10
it
seconds.
goes on long enough for her to say one sentence, and then it's done.
It goes on.
But that's
long enough
also
for her
what
to be
makes
like,
that's one of the most interesting parts of the game
Chief.
to me.
I don't know where I am.
Yeah, because the whole point of the game is
Come
him trying to
help
find Cortana.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, Master Chief. You're my only hope.
That's the point of the game.
No, the point of the game is destroy the Halo rings.
No. The story of Halo is Master Chief and Cortana. 100%.
You're not paying enough attention to these games.
The story, even in Halo Infinite, when Cortana is like not there, the story is still Master Chief and Cortana.
Which is why it had the worst story.
Halo
Apart from
Infinite?
Halo 5.
No, I don't think Halo Infinite
5
did.
had the worst story.
I enjoyed
by
Halo
far.
Infinite more than Halo 4, I think.
And Halo 4 that's not hard to do.
I mean, probably enjoyed it more than Halo 2. And from a level design wise, definitely more than Halo 1.
See, you are fundamentally how much time do we have?
We're at an hour and 3 right now. So
Okay.
I mean, we can keep going for a few
I'm
more
gonna do a
minutes.
micro rant real quick.
Okay.
All right, you're fundamentally forget about Horizon. This is more important.
This is more important.
You are fundamentally misunderstanding the point of Halo.
I don't
All
think
right,
that's true.
it's in the name. Halo. It's talking about the rings. Halo Combat Evolved. It's about the combat. You show up. You're the Master Chief in the first game, and Cortana. Yeah, she's there. She's nearly inconsequential to a certain extent.
That's just not true. Especially
She's
in
there,
light of the of
she
4 and
exists.
5.
No. We're on the first one. We're gonna go through them. All right, first game. She's there. Big whoop. You don't really need her, and you go through, and your whole point is the flood of us. You land, you crash land, and you've got to figure out how to destroy this ring so that the Covenant can't use it to destroy the galaxy. Then you
Yep.
discover that the Flood are also on the ring, and so now you have to destroy the ring because the Covenant are going to use it to destroy the galaxy. But now there's also zombies. The Flood don't have any overarching thing past that at this point. Now, you move on. He successfully does that. Blows up the ring. End game. Takes off his helmet. It's done. But then, it becomes a massive game that does better than like everything else at the moment. So then they have to make a second one. So they make a second one.
As
You're
they
back.
should.
Master Chief's getting an award. He's like back on, he's above Earth. Getting ready to go home. Cortana's there. And you know what she does in the second game? She just talks and occasionally helps Master Chief open doors. She's not important to the story. Like what's her name? Captain Key's daughter is more important to the story than Cortana is in the second Halo game. And so is the Arbiter. Like, there's like 4 or 5 characters that are more important than Cortana in the second game.
But then they spend the next
So
3
it's not
games
about Cortana.
being about Cortana.
However, then in the next game, they're like, hold on. We've got good enough graphics now. We can make her look a little more feminine. We're going to make her more of a person now. We're going to focus more on the relationship between Master Chief and Cortana. Even though she's not here in the first half of the game. So the game starts, and it has nothing to do with Cortana. You're not looking for Cortana. You're not doing anything. Because as far as you know, Cortana's dead. Like, she took the Flood ship at the end of the second game and is gone.
Uh-huh.
Just literally on nobody's mind
Except Master Chief.
in the game. He doesn't talk about her. He doesn't sit
Master
there.
Chief doesn't talk about anything.
He doesn't sit there and go,
That's the point of Master Chief. He doesn't talk about anything.
Cortana.
He talks when he absolutely has to.
No. He does that in later movies. He goes, Cortana. Just stares off into the distance anytime anytime something makes him think about her. But then you get into the third one, and he finds her again, and he's like, "Ooh, you're broken. I'm gonna let that ruin my life when the fate of the universe is at stake
Because they're
for
friends.
at least 3 missions,
Because they're friends.
and then I'm gonna suddenly get over it, act like nothing happened, and escape." But then on the way back home, the ship breaks apart. Master Chief is lost in space. That's the end of the story.
And then 343
No,
buys
yep.
Halo.
Well, that was the end of the story, and then they said, okay, we'll go back and we'll give you a prequel. Master Chief's at the end of it. Now, in that, Cortana is more important in Reach than she is in anything before Halo 4.
I don't think
realistically.
That's true. I think she was more important in Halo 3.
Because for some reason in Reach, they decided that Cortana is the only AI in existence capable of helping humanity.
Because she's
when they-
directly based off of Halsey.
Right, but they don't act like that is the case at all until Reach. Like, no, everybody in Halo 1, 2, and 3 should know that she is extremely important.
Oh,
but
no, they developed the character and story more in
nobody
another
acts
game?
like it.
That's crazy.
Nobody acts like
oh
she's
my gosh,
important.
that's a nuts thing. How dare they progress the story
Then
more as they make more
say,
games?
all of a sudden, she is the only AI that could do this, even though they don't act like that before that, which realistically takes place afterwards. You get there, and they're like, now she's really
I
important.
mean, they kind of do. That's
And
why
then
Master Chief made it such a
they're
big
like,
deal in
that's
Halo
it.
3.
We're not doing anything else. But then somebody offered them a bunch of money, so then you get Halo 4, and it's really bad. It's like, it's really, really bad.
Halo 4 wasn't bad. I enjoyed Halo 4.
Because you
I
show
thought
up and
it
they're
was
like,
pretty
all
good.
right, Master Chief, he's fine. For whatever reason, even though he's been unconscious in space for like 10 years,
He's in the stasis pod.
he has new armor that has new capabilities, despite the fact that he has been asleep and unconscious for
Yeah, I didn't say it made sense,
Decade.
but it doesn't make it a bad
doesn't
game.
make any sense whatsoever. And then you get the Covenant, and you're like, okay, this is kind of cool. The gameplay is kind of janky, but whatever. And then you're like, okay, Cortana's back. Oh, she's real glitchy. Oh, we're not gonna do everybody's like thing that made Halo cool. Like, you know, literally what you said is the best enemy. No Flood, nothing.
Yeah, no Flood.
What are we doing now?
They beat the Flood.
We're doing
Forerunner.
and they just don't look like anything that would be in Halo.
I
They
mean,
look like they were directly taken
they
from like
do.
another video game and then thrown into Halo.
I don't agree with you. I
And then
think
they
fit the art
designed a
style
bunch
what's
of
going on
helmets
inside the
and
rings
everything
really
that
well.
looks stupid. Like, they don't make any intelligent sense if you look at the designs of the armor.
They're not supposed to.
It should.
They're aliens. What do you want?
No. We're talking about the armor for the Spartans.
Oh, for the Spartans?
Like it's
yeah.
absurd. Like you give you no visibility. I don't think so. Like for me, it's got to be practical if it's going to be cool. And there's
You're
nothing
wrong.
practical about the designs in Halo 4.
It must be practical because they're able to use it just fine.
And then Halo 4, the whole story is Master Chief and Cortana have to stop the Forerunner from destroying Earth, which is essentially the same thing as every other game. It's just not a ring anymore. This time it's a sphere.
Which is a
So
lot more
it's
important.
why they should be. It should just be called Sphere.
But it's a lot more important
Master
just because
Chief.
they're specifically they're like this is the home world.
I mean, they did that in Halo 2 though, and Halo
Okay.
3.
Not really.
They literally directly attacked Earth in Halo 2 and 3.
They fixed it. I mean,
Like,
what do you want
Like half of Halo 2 takes place on Earth and half of Halo 3 takes place on Earth.
from a game? But
So it's the
especially from a
same
gameplay
story.
perspective, like Halo 4 was a lot of fun. Graphically, it got a lot better. The gameplay was fun.
Gameplay was janky.
They expanded on the world building of Halo.
They made it
The
worse.
the Forerunner, I don't agree with you.
I know you don't.
And even with Halo 5,
This
like
is a
the
rant.
campaign was short, and that's why a lot of people didn't like it. I didn't,
Even Halo
like it
5?
was weird going back and
Oh.
forth between the two teams. But I didn't think the story of the actual campaign was that bad.
Halo 5 is beyond redemption for me. It is a piece of literal crap that people paid like this insane amount of money for because it's worthless, inherently devoid of worth or merit or value to any and all extent because
online's
it's
fun.
that bad.
People love the online. It's like some of the
And for
best
some
online
reason
Halo
now
there is.
Cortana, humans have to die now.
She kept deteriorating. It's like Ultron.
No. Ultron was well written.
I mean,
Cortana stopped being well written when she got to 343.
sure.
Because now, for whatever reason, she's like in love with Master Chief,
Yeah, that's weird.
and it's weird.
It's weird. Then the Infinite, I mean, it feels kind of disconnected, but it's supposed to.
Infinite, I don't really
And-
have problems with Infinite. I just think like the story in it doesn't really feel like anything new. It's a big brute that is
Yeah.
the big boss fight, which is Halo 2.
Not really.
The big boss, the end of Halo 2 is
You fight a bunch of brutes.
you fight
And then
a
you fight the
big
prop-
brute. You fight one big brute.
Right. I don't know. Infinite feels different enough to me.
Like, I liked Halo Infinite, except for the grapple thing. Grapple thing is fun, but it doesn't feel like Halo.
Yes, it does. He's wrong. It just felt like Halo, but with better, cool mechanics.
It made Halo feel like every other, like, modern first-person shooter, which detracts from
Halo
Halo.
already feels like every other modern first-person shooter.
No, it kind of just defined the genre. Everything else wanted to be Halo.
So what you're saying is your problem is that it feels like every other first-person shooter game, but it also is
My
the
problem
thing. It
is
is the
that it
reason. It is
stopped-
the reason that other first-person shooter games feel the way that they do.
No, I'm saying that because Halo is the way that it is,
That is what he
other
said.
games tried to be different. And they were different. It felt like a different thing. And then in Halo Infinite, or realistically ever since Halo 5, 343 was like, what if we make Halo feel like the other games?
I don't feel like they
Instead
did
of
that.
making it its own thing and
Especially 'cause
keeping
I'm
it
like-
the way that it has been.
I don't feel like they did that, especially because like in Halo 5 they brought back the armor ability mechanics from Reach, so they were just using their own mechanics that they already had. They had, and then like
I mean, Halo 4 had the armor abilities too.
yeah, and then in Infinite they had the grapple, which is just like a fun, useful tool.
But it
And the
doesn't
thi-
make sense for a guy with a 2,000-pound suit.
It's space aliens. Whatever they can make, whatever they want, make sense.
No, because the rest
They
of it,
literally
it's done,
can.
It's
No, they
done
literally
within a
can.
certain realm of believability.
It kind of is. It's space technology.
Grapple hook isn't.
Yeah, it is.
How?
It's space technology. Anything's within the. It's sci-fi. Literally, you look at sci-fi. It's all so much not in the realm of believability that it is. Because at a certain point, you're just like, oh, space science. Okay, great, it works.
Not really.
Yeah, I
mean-
am. That's what I think.
That's because you go, ooh, pretty colors.
Because
good
that's what makes it
game.
cool.
I don't get it. I could play a game in black and white, and I'd have fun if it was well done.
West of Loathing.
Yeah.
But no, the graphics are part of what makes games so fun. Which is why I love Minecraft. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the show. It's,
that was a really long one.
Yeah, it's an hour and 15 minutes. That's okay. We realistically, this is our show. We can take as long as we want. But
yeah.
Shall we do the thing?
We do rock, paper, scissors?
Yep.
Do you have an ending planned?
I know what I'm doing every time.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
asked
we're going to
him
see
that
if I know
earlier,
what's
so-
happening or not.
Yeah. All right, ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, no one.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right, you got me once.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, wow.
got him
Double paper rock.
twice.
You win. 2 shows in a row.
Guys.
Do you have any idea what to say?
Oh, I do.
Okay, because you didn't.
Everybody, thanks for listening to the Traffic Barrel Podcast. I've been Tate Morris. This has been Luke McAvoy. And thank you for just tuning in our little happy discussion about video games.
Little happy discussion.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends and family about this podcast, because I keep forgetting to do that.
Please do that.
Please do
We want
that.
more people to listen to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That's it.
Yeah. We'll see you guys. We'll talk at you next week.
See you next week. Adios.
Bye-bye. Oh, do you think that? Now, have you planned ahead enough to know what you're gonna say if you win the thing, buddy? If you win rock,
no.
paper, scissors?
I have not, but I'll figure it out.
Okay, that's great. If you win. I mean, that's a big if, so.
Nah, I got this.
Oh, sure you do.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see if you
I
are
have
able
a
to
new-
survive an outro this week.
I have a new tactic.
Okay.